Imagine buying the house of your dreams, like this tree house that you guys are gonna see right now, and then you're getting a call at 7 a.m. after putting it up on Airbnb from one of your team members that there's somebody literally rolling a rollaway bed down your stairs at 3:45 in the morning.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Nobody had a chance to see this except for my team once they got up at 7 a.m. I'm here to talk to you guys about why Airbnbs suck, but also how they could potentially be lucrative. What's up, YouTube? My name is Jesse Vasquez. I am the founder of AirVenture Hosting Company, AirVenture Academy, airventure.com/org, AirVenture CPS. I'm just kidding. I own some real estate here in the Central Valley and in the Bay Area. Right now, I currently have about 9 properties, and I'm excited to share this video with you guys. And if you haven't seen me before, please like and subscribe, as I definitely want to work with the algorithm on this, and you doing that helps me tremendously. So. Potential things that can happen in an Airbnb property, and this can happen in a midterm rental too, but I just want you guys to know that nothing in this business is, you're not ever going to be completely safe, but I will talk to you about 3 things that can help protect you as you have an Airbnb or a midterm rental going forward in the future. So I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of what happened. As you guys know, I've talked about this treehouse for probably about 3 months now. It is a property that I was obsessed with ever since I was a little kid. I actually envisioned myself in this property. It's a really cool house. It's probably one of my favorite homes that I've ever been in. And for me, it was really about sharing this property with other people, and which is obviously why I had it listed on Airbnb. Not only that, but Airbnb's algorithm has completely changed. So experiential homes such as tree houses, dome homes, outdoor spaces that have an experience to them, those are where the Airbnb algorithm is going, which is also another reason why if I invest in Airbnbs, it's something similar to this. Anyway, just to give you guys a quick snapshot of what actually happened, I had a guest that had solid 5-star reviews. They had 7, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to have when you have an Airbnb. That's how you know that their other hosts are obviously saying that, hey, we trust this guy or gal to stay in this property. Long story short, to make a long story even longer, is what I should have said. These folks rented the place, no problems at all. Everything was great for the first couple days, but I did notice a problem, and you guys are going to see in this clip right here. That right around 2 in the morning, there was people coming in and out, and I did message them that next day to say, hey, I saw that there's people coming in and out on a Ring camera. We actually have Ring cameras, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. At 2 a.m., people were coming up and down. And keep in mind, you guys, that these people that were staying in this property were older.
You were old, dude.
That brought some of their children with them, and I did not think anything of it. You know, some more context. They were at the property for about 6 days. They had a 6-day booking, which was right around $2,000, which is a pretty good booking for 6 days. Actually, it was a little bit more than that. It was about $2,500. But for me, having them in the home, it felt great. I had this place booked for 6 days. That's amazing. But then again, I noticed that one issue, and this is where things started to get kind of weird.
It's gonna get weird.
They messaged me saying that their family member was at the airport, which here in Modesto, there's a very tiny airport. They were having to go at 2 a.m. to go pick somebody up at that airport. I doubt that our Modesto airport actually has any planes that are landing at 2 a.m., which is freaking weird. First red flag. The second red flag was that they had dogs in this property. And as you guys can see from this place, like, we don't allow dogs here because, except unless it's my dog. I can have my dog here, but nobody else is allowed to have their dogs. But anyway, they had dogs in the property, and that was another issue that I had reached out to them saying, hey, you don't allow dogs. After that happened, I started to realize that these potential guests they're not following any of the rules at all. They weren't following anything that we asked them to do. In fact, they were doing the exact opposite of that. So let me tell you the details. So these folks decided to take literally silverware, rugs, blankets again, sheets, straws, the utensils that hold the forks, an adult-sized Keurig. I don't know if you guys have seen these. There's like a small mini Keurig and then an adult-sized Keurig, a big boy. They sold one of those. Coffee cups. I mean, literally everything that you could potentially think in a home, like the little knickknacks, everything was stolen. $2,000 worth of knickknacks. And they also broke my freaking Bluetooth speaker, which I was pissed about because I spent a lot of money on that. So that being said, oh, and a rollaway bed. Don't forget that. That's how we noticed they were actually stealing. So this rollaway bed, we bought it a couple days before the guests showed up because we wanted to have a little bit additional sleeping space for people in this property. And they literally were pulling this big giant box, and you guys are gonna see a video of this dude right now, literally rolling this box down.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you
And the fact that this guy looks so regular, like we're never ever gonna find this dude. Look at this wanted picture that we have of him right now.
want it, dead or alive, want it.
This guy should be behind bars. Like, I mean, are you guys serious? Like, this guy looks like every single person on the planet. I even have uncles that look like this dude. So the police are never gonna find this guy. In fact, I wasn't even worried about calling the police because at the end of the day, I just don't think they're gonna really care too much about somebody stealing from an Airbnb. But I found out from my team members. My team messaged me at 7 a.m. and said, hey, Jess, some dude is rolling your bed down the stairs. And this guy couldn't even pick up the bed. That's the weak thing. Like, this guy is super freaking weak. So if you guys know this guy, leave a comment down below. Give me his address and his phone number because I want to hunt him down and get my rollaway bed back. A situation like this can be scary, but thankfully I have a company that is my insurance company called Steadily, and they're fantastic. They were actually willing to take care of these issues that are over $2,000 if VRBO doesn't handle this. In fact, you can actually work with them both on the Airbnb side and on the midterm rental side. You want to make sure that you're protected because you never know what can happen. I mean, look at me, you guys. I had somebody steal a freaking rollaway bed. So down below, there's going to be a link to Steadily. It's a free quote. You probably want to head there just to make sure that you're covered. It's not going to cost you anything. So we'll see what the quote is. So you're probably asking yourself, how the heck could I have avoided this? I don't think there really is a way I could have avoided this. And this is why. The guest had 5-star reviews, literally 7 of them, which if there was any red flags at all, it would be that they had 0 guest reviews, and it could have been a brand new account that was just started, say in the month of April, which is the month that we're in right now. That's a huge red flag when you see somebody brand new that has no reviews and they literally started this month. The second thing that I could have done differently, and I should have noticed this, and somebody on my team member should have noticed, one of my team members that I work with should have noticed this. The guest had a 209 area code, which is the same area code of the Central Valley. So literally somebody that is in our area rented this property. So that's another red flag, is that if somebody in your city is renting the same property, there's probably something going on there where there could have been an issue. The third thing is they had 3-day booking lead time. Typically, guests in my market will rent out 23 days in advance. That's what our booking lead time is for Airbnb. So 23 days in advance they book. This family happened to book within 3 days of actually arriving, which sometimes that could be a red flag. So for me, there wasn't necessarily one specific thing that could have changed this. But again, if I looked a little bit more in the details, I would have noticed the 209 number. I would have known that potentially it was somebody here. And we should have messaged them to say, hey, we see that you have a local number. Are you from this area? That's something that's really important to pay attention to as you guys maneuver through the Airbnb or even the midterm rental space. So what's the big difference between hosting Airbnb guests or having midterm rental guests? Well, midterm rental guests are usually professionals that are in the space. They're not looking to party. They're not looking to take your freaking fork holder. Is that what it's even called, Micah, as a fork holder?
Tray.
Tray? Okay. So, yeah, they even took a freaking tray. So most of the time when you have travel medical professionals, doctors, business travelers, families that have lost their properties due to some kind of fire, flood, or some kind of catastrophic event, they're not going to steal your freaking adult Keurig. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Guess what? Not gonna happen.
So I want you guys to realize that there's a big distinction between midterm rental guests and Airbnb guests. Typically, again, these guests that are midterm rental guests, they live in the house. It's actually like they're living here. This is where they're going to be for the next X amount of time. And it's a totally different mindset than an Airbnb guest. Airbnb guests are here for a couple nights, basically most of the time. And they're here just thrashing the place up. There's a lot of wear and tear that happens. In fact, I think there's more wear and tear that happens with Airbnb guests than there is on the midterm rental side. So for me, there's a clear distinction between the two. And not to say this can't happen on the midterm rental side, it totally can. I've never had this happen in the last 7 years. And I've only had something very similar to this happen with another Airbnb that I've had probably 4 years ago. Okay, so you guys are probably asking yourself, am I gonna do this in the future? Like, am I gonna still continue to Airbnb this property? 100% yes.
What? Seriously?
Yes, 100%.
Because this home is a property that I feel is not set up for a family. It's not set up for somebody to live. It's too freaking unique. It's too awesome. And as you guys see the B-roll, just see how cool the place is, how unique it is, and how It's just an awesome place. In fact, this place did about $8,700 in the month of March, which is fantastic. Most Airbnbs in the Central Valley right now are only doing about $3,500. So we literally 2x what the Airbnbs are making in this market. Long story short, I am still gonna have Airbnbs. I'm definitely gonna continue to Airbnb this property. We're just gonna do a little bit more vetting. We're gonna make sure that we take care of the guest communication. We're looking at things a little bit more clearly. And when things like this happen, this makes our teams better. So we're actually able to look at, okay, what could we have done different? So I want everybody to realize right now, this is not a doom and gloom video where it's like the world's gonna fall down, don't Airbnb anymore, this is the worst thing to ever do. This is not that. This is a story of how we can be better, how we can improve our listings, and how we can potentially bolt rollaway beds down so nobody can steal them. And one more thing before I leave off on this video is I have Steadily Protection, which is an insurance company. You guys can all get a free quote today by Steadily, and yes, they did sponsor this video, just so you know. Steadily is a great, fantastic company, and I really love that they are able to take care of me. If Airbnb and VRBO don't take care of me, they will. In fact, they're really one of the cheaper companies that you want to work with as far as insurance companies go, even if you're arbitraging. So I'm going to leave a link down below. Make sure you head over and get a free quote from them. And again, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.